Bubble lawnmowers are amazing, especially when it's wet. Look, there's just bubbles all the way on the track that she's been. There's bubbles everywhere. I'm not surprised. Shall I bring my lawnmower? You keep spreading your bubbles.
Welcome to another episode of Toby's Stupid Vlog.
Hello, happy Wednesday already because, you know, bank holidays and all that. We had quite a nice bank holiday. It seems like a lifetime ago. It was 2 whole days ago. We went out for a pub lunch on Saturday because it was our anniversary. And what did we do on Sunday? You know, I just don't know. If I'm honest, I'm so tired. I have no recollection of things that happened half an hour ago. Monday, Crystal's parents and a couple of her nieces came round and we played in the garden with Amelia, kicked football around. It was great fun. Now, let me preface the next conversation entirely by saying I don't like DIY. I've never been a big fan of it. Like, that's why there's professional people to do jobs, you know, because they're good at it. The reason you pay someone is because, one, they'll do it properly, and two, if they don't, you are indemnified against the damage through insurance and whatnot. So DIY to me is a bit of a stupid thing, right? Getting involved with it. People who are DIY obsessive, weird, don't understand them. They get really obsessed by the DIY and they lose track of actually the idea of it being finished. Now, we've moved into a house that is basically a DIY lover's wet dream and everyone else's nightmare. So, you know, the electric's been redone, so that made a lot of mess. The boiler's been replaced, that made a lot of mess. And, you know, we need new front doors, new carpets, new ceilings, new plasterwork, a new bathroom, a new kitchen. You know, it's a lot. And then yesterday night at 10:30, whilst I was working, one of the radiators popped and spewed water all over the floor, and it turned out another one had gone. So actually what we also need is new radiators. So this is getting really expensive really quickly. I don't really like living in chaos, but I just have to get comfortable with it because it's going to be like this for a while. And work's beginning to come back in now, so I'm getting busy again. So it's a bit of a balancing act, and I'm so tired because I'm not sleeping properly because there's so many things going on. But at least they're good things, if you see what I mean, as opposed to like stresses about things that aren't happening. But anyway, that's me. That's what I'm up to. Good afternoon. It is a beautiful, sunny Friday here on the edge of the Surrey Hills, and I have no professional work to do today. I had quite a lot yesterday and the day before, and the day before that actually, as it turns out. But so I've been working in the garden this morning. I'm not feeling great, if I'm honest. I was feeling pretty rough last night. Amelia had a really bad night because she's feeling pretty rough too. You know, we've got local colds. That's what I'm saying. We're new to the area, so we're just getting used to the antibodies, used to the viruses, generating some local antibodies, and yeah. Anyway, it's a nice day, so it can be outside. So I'm going to the shops to drop something off, buy myself some lunch, and see what else is in the middle aisle in Aldi, which is always a fun game. Hello, this is Bertham Church. No, that's not quite true. It's a church and we're in Bertham. I think it has a name that's slightly more elaborate than that. This is where Amelia's nursery is, which I've just done drop off. It's just down there. Nursery runs are very different nowadays. It's the same routine. It's just nice to be somewhere else. It's a very pretty old church. This is the old village. It's basically built around here. Anyway, I've got to go and buy some breakfast. Okay, no, apparently it's just called Bertham Church. Fair enough. And this is some of the older houses around here. Some of the sort of Victorian era stuff. This little corner is where the village sort of grew from. where the shopping parade is now, and where the newer estates, I should say, where we are, 1930s, 50s estates, is not where Burpham was traditionally. It's right on the edge of what's called Merrow, on the other side of the railway line. Really just a satellite of Guildford at this point, just on the London Road, which runs straight into the middle of Guildford. But these are the fields where the village started, as it were. It's very pleasant. It reminds you of what might have been here a long time ago. Occasional old cottage like that one, massively extended and improved now. And then there's a little row of cottages right on the corner. Here they are. And then there's a couple of quite old buildings. One is on the London Road. I think a couple are actually on the London Road. And then there's a couple of farms. And that was basically whole of Burpham, 10 cottages, 2 farms, 2 large manor houses, and a church. And that was it. And now it's an enormous playing field, a couple of nurseries, a parade of shops, 2 supermarkets, and a kind of largish 1930s and 1950s estates. And then on this side, more recent sort of 1970s and 80s estates. So what would probably have housed originally, I don't know, maybe 30 people as a village in total, which hardly makes it worth having a church, but you know what it's like. 30 people plus workers from surrounding villages probably. It's now probably, I don't know, a couple of 100,000, which is insane really, isn't it? But it's a lovely place to live. The reason we moved here is because you can be in Guildford in under 10 minutes, and you can be in the Surrey Hills area of outstanding natural beauty in under 10 minutes. And if you jump on the A3, you can be in Wimbledon in 35 minutes, and Kingston in about 25. So you're actually very well placed. And I think we're only, we're probably only barely an hour from the coast as well. It sounds rather too good to be true, but that was kind of the whole point. And that's why, despite the fact the house is an active calamity, which I'll show you hopefully today, the fact that the garden is beautiful and the location is amazing means that we were prepared to, slum it for a bit whilst we earn enough money to make the house look presentable. Hi there. This is the first time I've actually pointed the camera at my face in a while, and the reason being is because I have looked so tired and I haven't had a haircut in so long that I just figured it would be better to look at the scenery. But this is just to remind you that I am still here and I'm not just like a disembodied voice. And also, I've decided you have to choose your hairdresser, don't you, when you move? You have to choose your barber, where you're going to go. There's one literally around the corner from me, 3-minute walk. So I looked at it and then looked at the prices. So when I was in queue, our local barber, which is just bog standard, nothing fancy, but fine, it's a barber. I mean, what do you need? I think by the time I left, I think the prices had gone up to £18. And when I first moved there, I think they were 14. But that was 10 years ago, I suppose. £18, I thought that's quite a lot, but it's queue, it's quite a lot for just a quick haircut, really. But queue's not a cheap place, and London and what have you, all those things put pressure on prices and expectations. And so I thought, I'll move to Guildford, right? So a haircut's not going to be more expensive, is it? So I looked at the place around the corner, basic haircut, 22 quid. And I'm like, what the, I don't know, that to me seems insane. Like, if it's £18 in queue, why is it £22 in Guildford? Like, it's not like the tools have to come any further, is it? Like, the tools of the trade for hairdressing all can be bought online. There's no shipping issue. It's just the barber has decided that's the prices. So I thought, well, I don't know if I want to pay £22 for a haircut, says the man who gets like 4 haircuts a year, so it's still under £100 worth of haircutting. So I thought, well, there must be other barbers. The answer is yes, there is. If you walk 25 minutes up the hill to Merrow, a beautiful walk, there's a nice little family-run Barbers, which is a hugely bargainous price of £19. Now you might think, you've saved £3. Why did you do that stupid walk? But first of all, excellent job. And secondly, why not? Why not save a little bit of cash? Because everything in my life right now is a money drain. So I might as well save £3 on a haircut. Anyhow, it's a simple thing, but having a haircut makes you feel human again. And, you know, the 6 months leading up to that move, certainly the last 4, were very, very, very stressful indeed. Some of the most stressful times of my life. It sounds absurd, but it is true. And I'm now beginning to come to terms with actually where I am. And this is where I am. I'm walking down one of the old roads in Merrow. Some of the older buildings on the left. Very pretty. This road doesn't actually really go anywhere, which is why I'm surprised there's a delivery vehicle coming past. Oh no, fair enough, it's Guildford Council. But it's the reason there's so little traffic is because it doesn't go anywhere. But it does. For pedestrians, you can cut through and it takes you onto the railway line and back to the woods next to my new house. So, it's a lovely walk, even on a day which is looking quite threatening, if I'm honest, because there's these beautiful cottages along the side. And there's the old original post box. It's actually Elizabeth II, so it's not that old, although she is. And there's even some houses actually in this wood, which is cool. And then there's, although this is almost all oak trees, this particular oak tree here, that one, was planted in 1919 to commemorate the anniversary of the end of the war. There's a lot of oaks around here. It's really unusual. I'm so used to being in a place where all the trees are sort of chosen by the council, so they all tend to be cheap ones or plane trees. I do love plane trees. You don't get them really in the wild out here. You only get them seeded because I think they're originally an Asian tree. But yeah, this is proper English countryside. So just up there is the railway bridge coming from London Road to Clarendon, going towards London if you go left. And this is a road that would have joined what would have been the old Portsmouth Road, what is now the A3. You can't get through there now, but you'll notice it's just lined with, there's literally just oak trees. Every tree almost is an oak tree, apart from the occasional ash, but it's like the most dense woodland of oaks. And then this road, which is in amazing condition, unlike the one we live on, even though it literally goes nowhere except into the back of the housing estate. So I realised I haven't done a house tour, and there's a number of reasons for that, which you'll see. I'm shooting this on the wide lens on an iPhone, so everything will look a little bit wider than it really is, but it's very hard to film on the standard lens because you just don't see everything. So this is when you come in the front door. This is the hallway. It is a decent sized hallway. The carpet is, everything in this needs to go. Like the carpets are going, the ceilings are going, all the walls are being replastered. So that's why we still have gaps from the wiring, which was redone. There is a downstairs loo here. It's terrible and it doesn't work properly. That's Amelia's training loo. Very funny. And as you come in, you've got the kitchen straight ahead. We've just had someone come around and place the kitchen. That is an original 1930s sink, we believe. But it's still terrible. The tiling is calamitous. The ceiling is bulging and falling. We've got new lights, but we haven't got new ceiling. So everything is coming out. Every single thing apart from that washing machine. That is literally the only thing that's staying. And it's all getting redone. In fact, it looks like we're going to have to change that window as well and remove that window and move all the mains electrics, which are currently sitting under there. This is the dining room, which is a good size. We haven't really done a lot with it. It's got original single glazed 1930s patio doors and an electric fireplace sitting in front of a gas fireplace sitting in front of an original coal fireplace flue. New fridge freezer though. Yeah, it's a nice room. It'll be nice to be able to eat in here. There is a serving hatch. People keep telling me to remove it. I'm not sure that I'm going to. There's a side door, comes in from the driveway, cupboard under the stairs, gas, electrics, etc. The living room is the only room that we use, really, apart from the bedrooms. It's a mess because I'm blaming Amelia for that. But I quite like the fireplace surround. It's, the rooms, other than the fact that it completely needs redecorating, is okay. Obviously, plasterwork needs doing. We need new curtains and everything needs painting and whatnot. But it's a nice room. And if you go upstairs, you come up this way. Horrible, horrible, horrible carpet, horrible curtains. It's the view out onto the driveway. You can see all the crap that we've taken out. That's our shed. All the crap that's come out of our house. The floor had to come up when we redid the electrics and the boiler. So we've got a bathroom has a shower, which works, but the drainage doesn't work properly. A bath, which is not properly seated, but it does work and it drains. Everything in this room is coming out and going in a skip. Nothing is staying. There's nothing worth keeping there. Similarly, it's a toilet, it works, but that's the only nice thing to say about that room. This is the second bedroom, which is quite big, but is essentially a dumping ground at the moment. Still filled with all our boxes for moving, and a desk and a printer and some internet stuff. It's a big room, completely needs replastering, new ceilings, obviously. Amelia's room is a bit dark because she hasn't got any curtains. We have to use blackout blinds. I mean, it's fine room, except for the fact that the floor's lumpy, the carpet's terrible, the walls are chipboard and pink and horrible, and the ceiling needs changing. But the size is solid. This is everything in here we brought with us from Q, except for that fitted thingy, which is functional but hideous. There's a little cupboard above the stairs. And then our bedroom, which is just an absolute tip, but a really big room, very nice, bay windows, chimney breast. There's actually an old fireplace in there, don't know why I can do that, and we got to put some fitted cupboards in and remove all this stuff. But that gives you a bit of a feel for the room. It's a classic 3-bed semi. There's an enormous loft up there, but I'm not going to go up there just now. It gives you a bit of a feel for the place. It's it's a great potential, but currently it is just so dated and so tired. So next time we actually do something, I will give you an update on what's happening. But tomorrow, the electrics are going in to the office, which is down there, which will be a room we can use, even though it's not technically in the house. It will be a nice room. So looking forward to that. Happy Saturday from Hatchlands, which is now 8 minutes from our front door. Amazing. We've come here primarily because, well, it's a beautiful spring day, so why not? But it's like 4:45, so it's quite late. But we were hoping that the cafe has like ice cream. There's literally no guarantees, and I'm slightly concerned there won't be. And then at least one member of our party will have a full meltdown. Oh, thank you. Yeah, it is. Very cash. Good morning, happy Thursday. Wow, it's Thursday already. I don't think I filmed anything. So here we are in the outskirts of Godalming near Milford. I've come to pick up a wine rack because that's the sort of first world problem I have nowadays. too much wine nowhere to put it, so I've got my wine rack, £5, well spent. Now I'm going to go take the car and empty all the nonsense in it into the recycling centre, and then this afternoon I'm filming in London. Haven't worked out I'm getting there yet. TBC.
The shop in our milk van.
The milk van. He was a man. He was a man.
Could I have? Do you have any ice cream in your milk van?
Yeah, yeah.
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 What flavour ice cream?
Tut and melon.
And
Tut.
and what other flavours?
Toby and tut. Not melon.
Not melon flavoured
Yeah,
ice
that's
cream.
a good thing. 'Cause Mummy doesn't like melon flavoured ice cream.
Where's our house?
Where's our house?
Yeah.
Well, we don't live here.
We need our house.
We live in our house.
So this is the Rural Life Museum near Farnham. Amelia's found the playground, which she's now been in for about half an hour. It's got an old milk float that she likes driving over there. And, you know, all the usual playground things, including some like 1950s style sort of metal sit-in toys. But we've come here primarily to go and look at the old railway, which is up. It runs round the edge. An old kiln, narrow gauge train, which we're going to try and go on shortly. There's lots of tractors and wood mills and old cars. Off we go. Choo-choo. Off we go. Down the line. Through the woods. It's a windmill. Hi there, everybody. It's a Tuesday. I haven't filmed for ages. Apologies. The thing about moving into a new house is there's always something to do. And when I say new, I mean the term very loosely because this house is 90 years old. And when I say this house, obviously I don't mean where I'm standing now because I'm not in the house. But what I mean is that house there, which is our house in Burpham near Guildford. This is our garden. That's the first bit down there. This is the second bit, which is somewhat more enormous. And this is the office that we've had built. I'm just going to go wide so you can see it. Here's our little office. I have just finished fiddling with the internet connection. Crimping your own cables is a nightmare. Category 6 cables even more so because they're really thick and really difficult to deal with. But I think I've got it going now. Hang on, let's have a look. Yeah, that'll do. I mean, that's probably only half speed, but still, that's probably enough for the time being. So, yeah, hooray. That's got the internet sorted. Hurrah. Yeah, inside it's about 300 down. So, but now my next mission today, it's a bit sort of rainy on and off. I've got huge piles of wood and things down the bottom of the garden there. Things I've just taken out, dead wood, dead trees. There's more of them here. And I've been slowly trying to sort out the hedge, which It's a sort of mishmash of different ideas. There's a copper beech in there, which is really exciting if you're into trees. I can tell you're not. Move the coal frame over there. Rhododendron needs work. It's just full of brambles at the moment. I've got to osmo this bit of wood. Osmo is a hard wax sealant to stop decay. I've got to do a bit of work over there by the shed. I've got to tidy up all the mess that I've made pruning the hedge and whatnot in the garden. And I've got to assemble, there's a swing set resting on the back of that tiny slide at the moment I haven't yet assembled. So there's plenty to do, always.